Hi, I'm Tim and thanks for watching this video. If you recall, a few videos back I did a unboxing and specs video for the LinknLink eMotion Pro and the eMotion Max presence sensors. Well, in this video we're going to be taking a look at this one, which is the LinknLink eMotion Ultra. And also, in addition, we'll be taking a look at this, which is the LinknLink TH Sensor Mini. So what we'll do is go through the specs for these, and we'll also take a look inside the box. Now, I've already done a setup video how to adopt this into the app, so it's just pretty much the same, in fact identical to the other sensors, so I won't be showing you that again, as you can take a look at my previous videos where I showed you them being adopted into the LinknLink app. But what we will be doing is, in an upcoming video, I'll be showing you how to adopt these into Home Assistant, as they can use MQTT. So you can have this presence sensor in Home Assistant to give you various reporting options. Now, if you haven't previously used mmWave sensors, then these are ideal for such things as that, as they can detect people in a room, where they are in a room, and in specific zones in a room. So if you want more than just a PIR sensor, then mmWave sensors are certainly the way to go. So we'll get started with this video and get these unboxed. And here we are. So let's take a look inside the eMotion Ultra box. Now the box is the same as the other models. So if we open up the box, first you get the quick setup guide, which they provide with each of their versions of eMotion sensors. In the top you get the eMotion sensor itself, which is in a plastic bag. As you'll see, it's covered with a plastic film. At the back we have the USB-C port, which is used to power the device via the USB-C cable. Now there's also a recess in there to slot the cable into. However, this does actually look identical, and it is identical to the previous model, so the sensors are all the same apart from what's in the box. So inside the box, in another compartment at the bottom, we have, which is fairly difficult to get into, a set of screws and wall plugs for fixing the mounting bracket to a wall if you want to. And then we have the mounting bracket. Now this mounting bracket is actually slightly different to the other models, in that it seems a bit sort of better, I would say, build quality, in that it has still the extendable arm inside, but it looks a lot better and a lot more better build quality, I would say. If you take a look at my previous video for the previous two models, you'll know what I mean. However, as I've said, these mounting brackets are really strong. They're designed to be sort of stiff so that the sensor can be placed in a position where it doesn't actually move. So it's no good having the arms loose, otherwise the sensor would just move about in different directions. So I can see the point in their design for these. Now this one is also a magnetic sensor, so the sensor is actually magnetic as well as the bracket. So to mount the sensor onto the mounting bracket, you just line up the two grooves there on the bracket and also the sensor here, and then it just fixes into place like so by the magnetic arrangement. And also the back here, this is actually magnetic as well, so if you wanted to, you could actually place it, for example, on a metal surface, and it will actually adhere to that metal surface via the magnet. So then all you would do is just position the sensor as you would in the corner of a room, for example, by the magnet, and then it could just sit on a metal piece. You could actually use, I suppose, magnetic tape, so you could actually stick a piece of magnetic tape on your wall, or if, for example, using a wooden shelf, then you could actually put the magnetic tape on the shelf, stick it on there, and then this sensor would actually adhere to the magnet on the magnetic tape. Now, of course, you can buy that magnetic tape from the usual online store where you can get everything from. So also in the box with this one, you get a 2-meter cable. Now also in this cable is a temperature and humidity sensor. Now with the other models, it is actually an optional extra which you can buy, but for this one you get the temperature and humidity sensor included with this eMotion Ultra. So this has a USB-C cable at the one end and then a USB-A cable. Now you have to use this cable with the temperature and humidity sensor for this device. You can't just power it via a different cable. You have to use the temperature and humidity sensor cable that is supplied with this eMotion Ultra. So this will then give you the room temperature and humidity via this sensor brick here that's included in the cable. So you power this again via a USB adapter, which obviously has a USB-A port on it, and it needs to be rated at 5 volts and 2 amps. Now it does pretty much the same as the other sensors, however it does have 4 zones with this, so you can actually geo-fence the zones off, so you can have 4 zones in the room where you can set different automations for those different 4 zones. It also has real-time positioning with a maximum of 4 people, so 4-person head count, so you can have 4 people in the room and they will each be detected. It also has a downloadable 3-year history records with in and out and zone tracking for this sensor, and that's via the LinknLink app. And it also has a built-in long-range infrared blaster with auto matching and manual learning. Also has an integrated brightness sensor, so it can measure the brightness in the room. And of course we also have the integrated temperature and humidity sensor here in this cable. Now as I said, this is a 2-meter cable, and it's nice to see that they do give you a 2-meter cable with this, as the other sensors I found the cable, and I did mention this, was probably a little bit short for some circumstances. However, they must have had their reasons for doing a shorter cable. Now again, this works with Alexa, Google Home, Matter, HomeKit and also SmartThings, and of course it supports MQTT in Home Assistant. It also acts as a Bluetooth hub for extended connectivity with a maximum of 20 Bluetooth low energy sensors. Now also in this as well is an optional fall detection feature. So for example, if you've got an elderly person and they happen to fall for some reason, then it will detect where and when they've fallen. Now the connectivity with this is Wi-Fi 2.4 GHz and it works on 802.11 BGN. It also supports of course Bluetooth, and the power input, as I've said, is USB-C rated at 5 volts 2 amps. Now the radar detection on this is 60 GHz mmWave, and it's fenced by detection zones, and as I've said, you can put up to 4 zones on this sensor where you can have 4 different detection zones. It also supports live tracking, and the head count for the detection is up to a maximum of 4 people. The infrared frequency works on 38 kHz and the infrared range is up to 15 meters line of sight, and that's the maximum distance. The infrared angle is 360 degrees vertical and 150 degrees horizontal. The temperature, so the operating range for this, is between -20 and +60 degrees Celsius. And that's give or take 0.3 degrees Celsius. The humidity sensor for this is between 0 and 99%, and that's with an RH of ±2%. The brightness levels, so there's 3 brightness levels it can detect with this, and the Bluetooth hub, as I've said, can have a maximum of 20 devices with this, and it's also Matter compatible. Now the detection range for the actual mmWave is between 6 and 7 meters, and it also, as I've said, supports presence detection, zone detection, which is 3D, and also location tracking. So it works with Alexa, Hey Google, Siri, Matter, Home Assistant, and also supports anti-interference as well. So now we've taken a look at that, we'll just have a quick look at the TH Sensor Mini. Now this is in a small box, as you'll see, and in here we have the sensor itself and also a plastic mounting option. So there's the disc here, as you'll see. So this small blue disc has peel off stickers either side, and you just stick it to the back of the sensor, and then you can adhere the sensor to where you want it to be measuring the temperature and humidity. Now this has a display on it, so if we pull out the battery protector strip there, it should start to measure the temperature and humidity. And as you can see, we've got a reading of 26 degrees Celsius and the humidity is 65%. So this actually works on Bluetooth. So if I check the box here, we'll see we've got the specifications, and it's the model MHOC122. The rated voltage for this is DC 3 volts, so it works on a battery, so it has a small disc battery inside of it. Now the temperature range for this for monitoring is -9.9 degrees Celsius up to 60 degrees Celsius. The humidity detection range is between 0% and 99%, and it also works on Bluetooth 5.0 low energy. So it does have Bluetooth low energy. So you could actually, for example, get this into the LinknLink app to get the readings via Bluetooth on your mobile device. So that is the LinknLink TH Sensor Mini, which I could see uses for example, in a server cabinet, for example, in a closet, in a kitchen or bathroom to detect the temperature and humidity. So that is the LinknLink TH Sensor Mini and the LinknLink eMotion Ultra. So that will do it for this video. Hope you found this video useful, and as a comparison between the different models, you'll see the differences between this eMotion Ultra against the eMotion Pro and eMotion Max in my previous video that I did. If you want to take a look at the previous video, then I'll put links in this video description where you can go to the eMotion Max and eMotion Pro videos there. I'll also put links to where you can get these products from and get further information as well, should you so wish. So thanks for watching, and I will be back again soon with more videos. So take care and bye for now.